health is very important, if not, it's the most important. I'm not going to say that physical health isn't important. They're all equally important, but if your mental health isn't where it needs to be, it is definitely going to impact the other parts of your health. Okay. Mental health is just like any type of other health. It's on a spectrum. You could be mentally well or you could be mentally ill. And people don't understand that. They think, oh, I have to be at one extreme. Your mental wellness today may be different because you hadn't gotten any bad news, you got good sleep, you ate very good meals today, it was healthy, versus next week, you may have found out about the death of a loved one, you may be going through a breakup, you may not have an appetite, you're not sleeping, so your mental health is going to be impacted and you may not be as mentally well as you were previously.
MJT fam, it's your girl Mikia coming back to you with another lit video. I know it's been a minute and I have been gone, but I didn't come back alone. I came back with Janika Joyner. She is a therapist extraordinaire. I'm gonna have her introduce herself for a little bit, but before we get into any of that, you know what I'm gonna say. Just because I've been gone for a while doesn't mean the game has changed. I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button that I got rolling down there for you. And always hit that post notification so you know when I'm dropping the latest and greatest. Today is Girl Talk. We're going to be keeping it real today. As always, y'all know that's what we do on this channel. We keep it real. If you're new to our channel, the Let's Build Together, we're building everything. We're building relationships. We're building mukbangs. We're learning how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We're doing it all on this channel. So make sure you go ahead and you subscribe. Janika, tell them who you are. Bam!
Hi, I'm Janika Joyner. I'm the owner of Higher Elevation Psychosocial Services in Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm a therapist. I'm a mom, I'm an author, speaker, wife, trainer, you name it. Plate is full.
Plate is full. I'm talking about turkey wings, macaroni and cheese, some rice, collard greens, cornbread, you name it.
All of it.
It's all on her plate. I felt that it was necessary for us to get together. Janika and I met. It's crazy. We got an organic relationship. Nothing that was like forced together, right?
Nope.
Like, you know those relationships that just come together organically, not like here, y'all friends. Like it just was organic. It took a natural process. Janika is the only therapist that can man the people at our E.N.D.U.R.E conference, and so. For all the conferences that we have, the E.N.D.U.R.E conference, make sure I'll put all that in the link. I'll put all her information in the link because if you need any therapy, it's going to be coming from Janika. So her book is going in the link. Her Higher Elevation Psychosocial Services. Oh, I caught it, sis. I caught it, sis. That's going in there. And anything pertaining to the E.N.D.U.R.E conference, that's going in there. And as you can see, we're enduring anyway. That is the new t-shirt brand. Came back with a banger for you. That's going to be in the link as well. So we're going to go ahead and dive in because we don't want to keep you guys too long. So why don't we start off the top? Why don't we start off the rip? Mental health, women and mental health, men and mental health. How important is it, Janika?
Mental health is very important, if not, it's the most important. I'm not going to say that physical health isn't important. They're all equally important, but if your mental health isn't where it needs to be, it is definitely going to impact the other parts of your health. Okay. Mental health is just like any type of other health. It's on a spectrum. You could be mentally well or you could be mentally ill. And people don't understand that. They think, oh, I have to be at one extreme. Your mental wellness today may be different because you hadn't gotten any bad news, you got good sleep, you ate very good meals today, it was healthy, versus next week, You may have found out about the death of a loved one. You may be going through a breakup. You may not have an appetite. You're not sleeping. So your mental health is going to be impacted, and you may not be as mentally well as you were previously.
She came on here and dropped some golden nuggets for you already. And I didn't even look at it like that. Mentally well or mentally ill. Okay, so where do you find women when like you said, being a therapist and your plate is full, you have a whole husband, and I said a whole husband. You get what I'm saying? And when I say whole husband, that's a husband that helps in the home, okay? Helps in the home, participates and stuff like that. Because some people just have husbands. There's a difference. I'm just trying to tell you. He there, but he not helping with the kids. He ain't trying to cook a meal at night.
I don't have that type of husband.
Right. You have a whole husband.
Whole husband.
This is what I'm coming to school, you guys. You get what I'm saying? Either you have a husband or you have a whole husband. I was blessed to have a whole husband. So even with your plate being full, you being a therapist, and you having a whole husband, how do you keep the balance for your own mental health?
Well, I use my tribe, and I take care of Janika. Self-care is so important, and it's more than just a massage, lady. Self-care sometimes is you saying no and not answering that phone. Self-care is going to sleep early. Self-care is getting up and working out in the morning. I feel my best when I work out, even though I don't want to. I'm puffing, kicking, screaming, and cussing. But when it's over with, I feel so much better, and I have the energy that I need to provide the services to the clients that I have that day. And I feel so much better afterwards. So when it comes to my mental health, I don't bottle things up. Women, we're good for that. I address things when they happen. I don't pretend. We're good with that one too. That, things are good. When you get overwhelmed, you're afraid to talk to people. I talk a lot. I talk for a living. Right. I have support. I can call Mikia. I can call my other girlfriends. I can call my business bestie if I want to vent about business. Right. I have outlets. Therapy is important too. Right. A therapist should have a therapist. Important. You have to be taking care of yourself always, by what you're eating, by what you're allowing yourself to see, by what you're allowing yourself to hear. I had to change some of the music I was listening to because one day I thought I was getting ready to go do something illegal. Listen to one.
Talk about it.
Listen to one of those.
Share. We share everything on this channel, don't we, y'all? Tell her, share it. Put in the comments. Share it. We want to know.
I'm like, well, what is it? This was a while ago. Listen to one of those rap songs. I'm like, well, what is going on here? I feel like I'm supposed to go cop something.
She like,
I'm like, no.
Oh, not that?
I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
What am I doing?
Right.
But we have to be conscious about what we are not just ingesting as far as food, but what we listen to, the people we hang around, the individuals that we allow to have access to us. No one should have access to you 24/7 but your spouse and your children. If they're in crisis, they should be calling 911.
That's good.
Girlfriends calling you at 2 a.m. No ma'am. We don't do that around here. People say, I need to talk to you and pick your brain because they know I'm a therapist. No, unfortunately, that's not what we're doing. Now, if I offer for my services to be free, or I want to, talk to you about it, I'll do that. But as far as knowing that I'm a therapist and then you want to come to me with your problems, no, I can refer you to a great therapist that's in, your network if you have insurance, or send you to openpathcollective.org if you don't have insurance. But yes, we have to be careful about who we let have access to us or believe to have access to us 24/7.
I got a lot out of that because, and I'm going to tell you why. All jokes aside. So I guess there's a lot of myths out there in regards to therapy. So you know how a lot of us women and men, we haven't forgotten you. If you're a man and you are subscribed to this channel, I want you to know that you can apply these same principles to you. We're not just saying that it's women in crises. It's women that's dealing with mental health. There are men too, and we'll get Janika to touch on that. But what I want to say from the things that she had just shared, when I used to say, okay, I'm gonna take a Mikia day, a pedicure. Well, your feet are okay. you leave out of there, your mind is still all over the place. I mean, you may have chiseled off about 18 months of dead skin, but your mind is still all jacked up. You haven't fixed the problem. You have now spent an hour in the nail salon getting you a pedicure, right? Chiseling away, but you haven't had an opportunity to sit with a therapist. Now, if you went to if you went and got a pedicure after you seen your therapist, that might be different.
Oh yeah.
Because now you're coming down. You know, let me know if I'm hitting on something, Janika, you know, because she's the specialist, you know what I'm saying? She's certified, right? Now, here's the other thing. I think a massage is really good because the endorphins and all those toxins are being released out of your body that causes those, you know, the stress and things like that. That's why they give you water. See, y'all probably didn't even know why they give you water after your massage, because you're releasing all that, you know, all that tension and all that stuff back into your bloodstream. So you need to drink a lot of water so you can kind of, you know, excrete it out. I'm a professional. I'm gonna use my nursing terminology, but I did not realize that, you know, we were masking those things by saying, I'm gonna go get my nails done, I'm gonna go get my hair done, and take some time for yourself. But if there truly is an underlying mental health issue going on, you come home, your feet feeling good, you done had your massage, but you have not seen a therapist.
Temporary.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. Yeah, we're good at doing things that help us in the moment but hurt in the long run. And people say, "Oh, I'll put it off." And that's another thing I noticed about women, particularly us. We'll take care of everything and everybody else, and our mental health and mental wellness will go in the back burner until it's boop, slap in the front of our face. A lot of individuals that I see have been to the hospital because they thought they were having a heart attack, when in essence they were having a panic attack and anxiety.
Right.
So why then do they come to therapy? Because they were scared. They thought they were dying.
Right.
Oh, so I have anxiety. You've had it the whole time, but you have not paid attention to it.
Oh.
So anxiety symptoms, real fast.
Yeah. Give them
irritability, heart palpitations, problems concentrating. You're not sleeping, changes in appetite. You're not getting quality rest.
Right.
These things are happening if you're constantly worried. If you're saying what if, you're thinking what if. If the what ifs are happening often, probably anxiety. The irritability, people don't pick up on that one as much because they need to be in control. And when things don't happen their way, because anxiety tells you to be prepared for every possible situation that could happen, which we really truly can't. You get upset when things don't happen your way.
So anxiety is like a red flag.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you know, when I started nursing years ago, you know, being an emergency room nurse, I developed anxiety because I used to bring that stuff home, you know, dealing with babies and especially babies. They're like, okay, we need someone to come and console. Somebody console the mother. No, somebody to console the nurse, me, because I'm all over the place. The mother, if they come in and the mother like this on me, but it'll be okay. There's something wrong.
No, you're human. You're human.
But I'm supposed to be strong. So I used to carry a lot of that until as I began to mature as a nurse, then I was able to, you know, people say, that doesn't bother you. It's not that. I had a boundary. There was a boundary, a professional boundary that I needed to be there for the family. So, you know, you got to be open with telling your doctor, listen, these are the symptoms that I'm having. And the doctor said, well, you know, you having some anxiety / depressive type of issues. And at that time, I think he correlated it with my profession, but maybe that was something maybe before my profession.
And it just exacerbated it. Yeah.
And it just exacerbated it.
But you said something that I hear often. People say, oh, I have to be strong. Why? You're not like that anymore.
Right, okay.
You don't have to be strong
Nope.
because we're human.
Uh-uh.
No one can be strong all the time. No one can have it all together all the time. No
Right.
one can be perfect, can be fine all the time.
Okay.
We're all human.
Right.
And we glorify this hustle mentality, this work. This,
Right.
I gotta, keep it moving. I can't rest. I'll sleep when I'm dead. No. How are you going to enjoy life? Your children, your spouse, your significant other, your family, if you're constantly going through the hustle and bustle and you're not taking time to replenish yourself and pour it back into yourself.
I don't like when people say I'm a hustle, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm gonna sleep now because I'm
tired.
I'm tired now. You get what I'm saying? You get that rest? I don't like when people say that. Honestly, I think it comes from a lack of knowledge. I think it comes sometimes. I'm gonna say it because it's my channel. I say whatever I want. I think it comes sometimes from a place of ignorance. You get what I'm saying? I'm asleep when I'm dead. It's like, no, your body needs the rest, and then I don't like it. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're gonna go ahead and continue. So Janika says that she takes care of Janika. Okay, so we caught that. So because a lot of people had a lot of hiccups about therapists and sometimes a therapist need a therapist, but she already said how she creates the balance. I'm going to tell you, some years ago, before I met Janika, I used to be like, so this therapist years ago back in New York, her first name started with a D, and that's all I'm going to say. And she had a lot of issues that were outward. Like we could see them as staff, and then we would see people check in to see her. That was very concerning to me. As a health professional, I used to be like, how in the world is she able to help someone when she's coming in all disheveled? She has, choke marks on her. Oh, no. It looked like she had a rough home life. Only one can, assume because, her physical presentation at work. So I used to be like, what? And then later on, and this ain't the gossip channel, this is facts, okay? Then later on, one of a gentleman that she was providing therapy for wrote her name and number in the staff bathroom. I guess a staff member was going in, and he just kind of held the door and he went in, and in the stall, he said, for a good time, call D, and wrote her personal number in the stall.
That's awful. I'm so sorry that happened. That is awful.
And I was like, I don't think I ever gonna see a therapist in my life.
And that's the thing.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
We traditionally, we don't get a good name. We don't have a good, but I'm so thankful now that things are changing, because you saw Beyonce, Jay-Z went to therapy. A lot of other hip hop artists are going to therapy. People that you all look up to, and they're saying it's for the culture. It really is. Okay. Mental illness does not discriminate. Just like what's going on now in the world, we have good and bad apples in every industry and profession. We got some good nurses. I'm sitting beside one now. And we've got some excellent therapists. Okay? So what the difference is between a therapist and a friend, and I'll just say that quickly. We have boundaries that you spoke about. I am bound by a code of ethics. I cannot personally see Mikia as her therapist because I know her. I know her. Now, there are some therapists who may do that, and it's different in the gray area. If you're in church and they're providing therapy, is a little bit different. But as far as me, I cannot see someone that I personally know. It creates a dual relationship.
Yep.
I cannot talk about, if Mikia sends me someone, I cannot talk to her about that other person. My code of ethics won't allow me to. And I wouldn't do that anyway.
Right.
So when they say your tea is safe with me, I've seen it on a t-shirt. With a therapist, you can talk about whomever, however, as long as you're not threatening to harm yourself or somebody else, we cannot and will not and should not say anything. Anything you say is confidential. How you say it is confidential.
And I love that.
I don't bring up my clients. Other people do, and I don't think it's okay.
Right.
We're not supposed to. I don't discuss work. When I'm off, I'm off. I have a lot of other things to talk about than dealing with, you know, how I help someone that day. If they want to give a testimony, that is their business. But I myself as a therapist cannot.
Whenever we talk, she ain't talking about work at all. And this is the truth. And you know what? She's absolutely correct, because even at the E.N.D.U.R.E conference, and this is what I really appreciate about us building an organic relationship, something that just, you know, kind of formed itself. When Janika is the sole therapist at the E.N.D.U.R.E conference, and the reason being is that when you have a platform such as that, and you know, you're talking about the storm of abuse and the storm of depression or the storm of whatever, something that you've gone through your life. And then we're telling people and sharing testimonies about how, you know, to dance in the rain. It opens up Pandora's box. Mm-hmm. So you need a counselor, a trauma counselor at that, on site to deal with those hurts that was buried so deep, mm-hmm. that now they need to talk to somebody, not in a week, not in 7 to 10 days, because it just may have triggered something, and they're like, you know what? Thank you for the conference. It was great, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk out into the street and go ahead and kill myself. But by having a therapist in the building, it allows, you know, immediate access to Janika. I have never, ever, and I mean ever asked her, so has anybody come to you for therapy? It ain't my business. She's there to provide a service to the people at the conference. And she has never, ever come to me and say, hey, you know, I came. See, this is 100 right here. This is what I can respect. This is, I think, and Janika and I are so in sync when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know who she's seen from the conference, and I'm not saying I don't care in a sense. It's not my business. The whole point of the conference is so that people can get help. And so I love the fact that even if I wanted to get on her sofa and be like, Janika, can you help me? Because I've been falling outside with my rollator and everything, and I'm just not feeling like myself. Mikia, what I can do is I can refer you to somebody else. That's what's up, because like she said, mm-hmm. it creates a dual relationship. Mm-hmm. It's like cheating. She can't cheat with her clients. No. But I think Lady D in New York,
God bless her. I hope she's better and living her best life the only way she can.
I hope she became a patient of somebody else's, because that was wrong. And I don't know why y'all get bad names. And I'm not even gonna lie, I want a therapist. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for a therapist, you know, because I just think it would help. I want you guys to understand, and especially we were talking about the pandemic and everything. I think it's just healthy. Mm-hmm. Even if you say, I don't need a therapist, you need a therapist.
Probably. I think therapy is for everybody. So one thing I like about the fact that we're getting a good name and a rep is because historically people view mental health or mental illness as a white people's disease, or you had to be crazy in our communities. Or you can go to church, and if you go to church, you can't go to a therapist. We have so many therapists out now who are bridging the gap between therapy and church, and they say you can have therapy and pray. Shout out to Miranda Dennis of Oasis Clinical Counseling Services in Norfolk, Virginia. We have therapists who are in churches now. Some churches actually have licensed therapists on staff. And when you think about it, and I'm not a religious person, but I'm spiritual, so I'm going to get into it this way. We're whole creatures. Right. And if you believe in God, a higher power, and abundance, right, we're supposed to have it all. You can have a life coach, a therapist, a pastor or somebody doing Reiki. You can have a physical trainer, a nutritionist, a consultant for whatever.
Right.
I believe in having it all when it comes
Right.
to treating the whole person.
Right.
We don't have to just
Holistic.
give ourselves one or the other.
Right.
We're conditioned to choose. No, I want both.
Oh,
I want it all.
Right.
I don't want to limit
Because when you
myself.
go to the buffet,
You don't have to get everything, but you can have it.
you can have it. It's the
Take
same
what you
thing.
like.
Yeah.
And when it comes to finding a therapist, I think people feel like they're going to be stuck. I'm like, no. When you don't like a hairdresser, you switch. When you don't like your dentist or your doctor, you change. You're not stuck with a therapist.
That's good.
At all.
That's good.
Find the person that specializes in what you need. If you have PTSD, if you've experienced trauma, you can come see me. Anxiety, depression, adjusting to life issues, you can come see me. If you come to me and say I have an eating disorder, I'm going to refer you out.
Right.
I have to stay within my scope of practice, and other
Right.
therapists should as well. I don't do ADHD evaluations. That's
Right.
not what I do.
Right. Right.
That's not what I do. So you have to find a therapist that specializes in what you're looking for.
Right.
And feel that you can ask them questions. You should be able to ask questions.
Right.
And you don't have to say yes. You can say, okay, well, I'm going to explore other options and probably do the intake with you or not.
Right.
So that's the other thing. You're not stuck with a therapist.
Right.
Most people that come to me, they've already did their searching, or they said, oh no, I want you, because they've done their research.
Right.
They've been to my website. They know they've followed me somewhere. They're just not my personal friends.
Right.
They maybe looked at my business page, or again, saw me in the community and said, okay, I want her.
Right. I think it's important what Janika said. And the reason why we're talking about this, one, again, it is because of what's going on. I know early on when the world has shut down, it was just so emotionally draining.
Mm-hmm.
And when people's lives had to all of a sudden change, small businesses were affected, people were losing their jobs, and now you come in and, you're virtually teaching your children, or you have to be there while they're virtually learning and all this other stuff. You think you're okay, but you're not. And maybe you are. We're not saying that that you aren't. Maybe you're good. Okay, that's great. But there's a lot of us that are not. And so another thing that I want to piggyback off of what Janika said was, there is a time with your therapist. And I want to say this because one of my best friends from back home, she has been with a therapist for quite a while. And I had told her, if you have no growth and no change in you may have, and now it appears like y'all just kicking it on every Tuesday, you may have to start looking for another therapist.
Oh, no, we don't do girlfriend sessions. My clients do work.
Exactly.
We do work.
Exactly. If there's not any, if you've been in therapy for a year and you've been in therapy for 2 years and you're with the same therapist and it's just like, well, and I said, oh no. Typically, and correct me if I'm wrong, typically, 3-4 months, right?
It depends, but I'm going to say average. Sometimes I use cognitive behavior therapy. We can look at 25 sessions. So if you every week, or if you every other week, or if you go once a month, it'll be different. But I look at the amount of sessions, and if we're dealing with trauma, it can go beyond that. But you're absolutely right as far as it shouldn't be taking years. You should see some progress. You should have a treatment plan.
Right.
Review your treatment plan, your goals and objectives. We're not just kicking it. We can have fun now, don't get me wrong. But we're not talking about hair, fashion, and all of this other stuff. It's not a girlfriend session.
Right. And if you're on a hamster wheel in therapy and you haven't gotten off of that yet, it's time for you to start looking for another therapist. And we're not saying that there's something wrong with that particular therapist. We're saying that that's not the therapist for you and your situation. Another thing Janika and I had talked about a few months ago was, for me, I'm a business coach. And me, I'm a mentor. I personally mentor people. Now, that is different. If I'm mentoring you in business and you start talking about something traumatic, I've gone through something traumatic, but I do not specialize in that. You need to go talk to Janika about that. And then she can send you back over here to me about business coach or whatever the case is. You have to stay in your lane when it comes to leaving it up to the professionals. So I think it's very important. This is one of those topics that is just so broad, but we really wanted to get up here and share with you guys. Oh, I ain't got on my wedding ring. If my husband see this, he gonna say, a whole husband? And you ain't got on a whole ring?
It's the thought that counts, and it's real. You guys are really married.
We are really married, but he is so funny acting about that. And I'm sorry I had to break my thought, but when I went like this, I said, oh shoot, it's about to go down. I'm gonna need marriage counseling.
And I don't offer that either. I don't do the premarital counseling. I don't. It's not my thing. I do know some phenomenal therapists that do offer it. I'm just not one of them.
Because when Jose Luis say, you went on camera without your ring, I'm going to be like,
uh-oh. That's why my husband got his ring, and he got a tattoo. So
I had to get me a tattoo, so days when I forget.
He got a tattoo.
Yeah, you got to refer me for cognitive therapy, marriage therapy, and all kind of therapy or whatever the case is.
I got you.
But anything else you want to touch on, Janika?
No, September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So I oftentimes just tell people to just go and get you a mental health checkup from the neck up. The seasons have changed. It is now fall. We see seasonal affective disorder or SAD coming sooner. It typically hits between December and February. However, I'm seeing it a lot sooner because people have been stuck in the house. And if you already had some underlying mental health issues, all COVID-19 did was just exacerbate it and make things worse. So if you already suffer with depression, you're more depressed. If you already have anxiety, you're more anxious. If you were drinking a little bit, you're drinking a lot more. If you were using drugs or alcohol, you're really doing it now, turning up. If you were promiscuous and out there engaging in risky behaviors, you're doing that even more. So a lot of your gambling, you've been gambling online because you were stuck in the house, or going to the 7-Elevens because they remained open and sitting there pressing the button.
Wow.
So a lot of things people are doing to cope. Coping helps in the moment, but doesn't necessarily help in the long run. So you have to learn how to manage. That's what therapy does. It teaches you tools, gives you skills, techniques. We use interventions for you to practice. I'm a therapist that gives homework. Sometimes it's a worksheet. Sometimes it's just a thought or a change in the behavior.
Right.
It's not a lot, but you have to do things in between therapy and bring it back and say, hey, this worked. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck on that hamster wheel. Because I'm going to continue to tell you to do something and you don't even like it, so you're not doing it and nothing's changing. With your therapist, you can keep it 100. You're supposed to. 100, because I can't help you if you're not being honest with me. I'm not going to judge you, first of all, because that's a, no judgment zone in therapy. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you, and you should be getting your money's worth, whether your insurance is paying for it or you paying out of pocket.
Have you ever fired a patient?
Fired? Yes.
Yo, when you get fired from therapy, that is crazy.
Yeah, if you miss consecutively or you're not putting in the work, sometimes we're just not a good fit. Yeah, and I can get fired as a therapist too, and I have been. Because
see how she keeping it real? You see, MJT family, we keep it real on this channel. She said, I fired a patient and the patient has fired me.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I love that.
Like you said, I'm a therapist. And
probably because they didn't want to be accountable.
Well, the thing is, sometimes people just come to see and get what they feel they can get. And then they're like, therapy hop. People do that too. Like they church hop, like when church was in. People go and see what they could get and just take something here. And that has something to do with them. I don't take it personally because I'm still full. My caseload rocks. My people do work. I love my clients. They really come to do their job, which is change, learn, and grow. And yes, we have fun. That's the element I love bringing to therapy. Therapy is not boring. And I thought about therapist, you got the wrong one.
I thought about like putting on a disguise.
You can't hide that.
Oh yeah, I'm dragging a wagon back here. She'd be like, Mikia, take off the blonde wig.
The accent would give you away.
Oh, right. I'll be like, listen.
You're Russian.
You're like, look at that Russian girl with a big old butt. But I'm telling you guys, therapy is something that this is our girl talk. I wanted to come back to you guys and just, talk about something a little bit. I know I come back, we do our mukbangs. The mukbangs are still there. I'll be coming back to you with a mukbang here shortly or whatever the case is. But I have been out because I've been dealing with with my own illness. And so I thank God that I still have a sound mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be off some days, but I thank God. And I thank God for people like, Janika and so many other. I have so many people that care about me, that check on me and things like that. So I'm saying Janika because she here. So if y'all looking at the video, don't be like, I can't believe she didn't say my name. I love you. You get what I'm saying? Don't act crazy on the MJT fam, okay? So what I want to say is being out and dealing with my own health. You got to imagine just being able to run and walk and do your own thing. And then you go from, you go from that to tripping and falling or whatever the case is. That can mess with your psyche. You get what I'm saying? And so you have to step back a little bit and you got to assess your own situation. And then I'm like, okay, all right, Lord, I'm still here. And then not too long ago, if you follow me on Facebook, not too long ago, this past weekend, I did, embrace your call. So I wanted to, let you guys know that no matter what you're going through, embrace your call. No matter what you're going through, if you feel like you need a therapist, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with getting into therapy, especially people like Janika. I'm going to have all her information in the description box. And if you're not in our local area, Janika will be able to kind of guide you to maybe what kind of services that you may need to go to. I mean, you can always start with like your local community service board. I mean, I don't know, because that's not where I go. You got to leave this stuff to the professionals. But if you are in our local area,
all of Virginia.
All of Virginia, she's here for you. And then, there's some things that she does not do that Miranda Dennis does, okay? And so there's so many ways to get help. Mental health is really it's important for the whole holistic, for everything, in regards to our functionality and stuff like that. So
that's right.
I got to get my mind right. I mean, I'm good. Don't look good.
Real good.
But I'm serious. I want to get into therapy. I do. Because you got to understand with health and business and, still trying to, it's hard when your husband tells you, I don't have my ring, but I have a husband. Well, it's hard when he says, no, babe, you can't do that because you're going to fall. That get in your mind. And you be like, I could do it. And then you fall and you like, can you help me up off the floor? That get in your mind.
Yeah.
And Janika won't see me, even if I put on a blonde wig. You get what I'm saying?
She could put on a purple wig and I still wouldn't.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole brand. I'm going to endure anyway, and I'm going to encourage the MJT fam. All right, so we're about to be out of here. We may go ahead and continue this, Who knows? I know Janika's going to be back. You going to be back?
Yeah.
She's going to be back. We're going to come back. We're going to bring Miranda Dennis because some of y'all need a whole lot of the Lord, okay? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, hit that post notification bell so you know when I'm dropping the latest and greatest. MJT fam, as always, is great chilling with you. Janika Joyner was my boo Jake today. And I'm so glad that she took time out of her busy day to be here with us. So, as always, XO. Boom.